It's time for the final game here in HGC Europe in Week 5 before we go on a break to go to the Western Clash, and it's going to be a good one. Team Liquid taking on Fnatic. Winner gets to go to the Western Clash for Team Liquid. If Team Liquid were to lose, Zealots, who are currently the #1 big fans for Fnatic right now, are praying and hoping that Team Liquid loses so Zealots can go instead.
Exactly. It's going to be a great series. And again, once more, we have to make sure that everybody understands that even for Fnatic, who are already qualified for the Western Clash, there's a lot on the line here because we continue the rankings and our standings after the after the Western Clash.
Yep.
It's all important for the mid-season brawl. But just to explain the situation once again real quickly. Dignitas, Method and Fnatic are already qualified for the mid-season brawl. You can see their map score for Fnatic. It's a +6, a +8 for Method and a +15 for Dignitas. Neither of those can be contested by Zealots or Liquid, no matter how this series ends now. But Zealots have already 7 matches played. Team Liquid now play their 7th match against Fnatic. And if they win the series, no matter how the series ends, they will have the better map score over the Zealots while being at the same match score. So as long as Team Liquid wins the series, they'll go to the Western Clash. If they lose, on the other hand, it will be the Zealots.
And here's the standings. Also, you were talking about the MSB.
Yep.
And how important it is and where things matter. As we head to the MSB later on, we get back and play part 2 of Phase 1. Standings are very important to make sure that you are landing in those top slots to land a spot at the MSB. And then, of course, when we go to the playoffs to see who will be one of the final teams to go, every single standing counts because you will have to face another match if you are lower in the standings. So, big deal for our teams. Every single match, super important.
Yeah, and for Fnatic it's especially important because, as you could see earlier, at this point they're on the 3rd spot, and Method is on number 2. And Method has also a better map score than Fnatic does. So they have a +8, whereas Fnatic has a +6. Fnatic, of course, won the direct comparison between the two of them. So if towards the MSB they're ending up on the same match and map score, at this point, at least, Fnatic would still have the edge. Of course, we need to wait for the rematch between the two of them in part 2 of Phase 1. But it's really important from Fnatic's perspective right now that they are making a bit of headway when it comes to the maps and getting better map score for themselves. So a really important series for them as well, even though there's not as much on the line as for Team Liquid, for whom it's literally about going to an offline event.
That's right. Smallest of leads can be the biggest of deals as we continue to move into the future. Let's go and look at the scheduling, though, for today. If you just missed it, Leftovers earned their first victory here in HGC as they take a 3-0 over Diamond Skin, going up with a 1-6.
Absolutely impressive, and the most impressive thing, it was a 3-0. And we have now the same match score for the two teams. So also another really important thing to point out here, because if Leftovers can improve their map score, they now have also an advantage in the direct comparison against Diamond Skin. So that could eventually lead to Diamond Skin falling farther down in the standings and the Leftovers slowly climbing, once that we are entering a Phase 2, part 2 of Phase 1.
Later on, North America comes at you with LFM Esports facing off against Heroes Hearth. If Heroes Hearth wins a single map, they will be going to the Western Clash to represent North America. Space Station Gaming and Team 12 will finish out the day, but over here in Europe, the big match we continue to keep talking to, it's about to start. Don't worry. Team Liquid and Fnatic facing off. This has been the one that we've been looking for since yesterday when Zealots got their big win in Dignitas, because suddenly the cards on the table completely changed, and now the big opportunity to take that 4th slot is in the hands of Team Liquid. Let's check in with them and Fnatic and see what they think about this match.
Team Liquid is pretty hard to judge. I think at the start of the season, in practice and everything, they looked super strong, and I feel like the more they play, the more inconsistent they get. But I feel like we're the stronger team and definitely more consistent. We're already qualified for the Western Clash, but we still care about this match very much, and we'll take it very seriously since all games matter for the mid-season brawl. So we're gonna go in with this week and practice everything against Team Liquid and just do our very best to 3-0 them. But yeah, it's gonna be a good series at least.
So I think Fnatic has fallen off quite a bit. I think with time, they might actually become top 1 contender again, but right now I see them more in the top 3, top 2 spot. So obviously, since we are playing against Fnatic, we have to watch out quite a bit for Menace Mage Pool. Apart from that, I think if we are playing well, we can beat Fnatic with a 3-1 or 3-2.
Team Liquid hoping to take this match to the wire. Fnatic here also looking just to grab their own wins. We continue to talk about how important every single map is here at the HGC. But you can't help but feel maybe there's a little bit of pressure here for Team Liquid. If they lose, they know that Zelts will be going forward, and that curse has kind of been lingering around for them lately.
Yeah, the good old Team Liquid curse.
Yes,
created in StarCraft 2.
Been around for a while now, and it will strike when you expect it not to do so. Let's go ahead and check out the battleground for game number 1. Where are we going in this best of 5 series? First one will be Towers of Doom, a Team Liquid special, one they choose often. Fnatic will have first pick. Raxus not a map for picking or playing today. Neither will Sky Temple.
And Fnatic changing their ban pattern. They have banned out Dragonshire 6 times, so now they ban Sky. They didn't have the best record on Sky in the past. We've been talking about how it used to be a stronghold for them with the old Fnatic lineup, but now they're 0-2 on it. And Team Liquid themselves on Sky Temple also doesn't really look too hot, but Fnatic apparently still saying, you know what, we are rather shifting our strategy slightly and go to Dragonshire if need be. But for now, at least, we're banning out Sky Temple instead. So something that probably is not going to make a big difference today, but it's definitely one of those things that we need to keep an eye on for the future.
I mean, that kind of alludes to what we've been talking about for the last couple of days whenever we talk about Dahaka. Dahaka, an important pickup on Sky Temple, and maybe one that we would need to see, and if Babini's not prepared to play that character, perhaps that's one of the reasons why they ban him out, because he's kind of a mainstay on that battleground. Whereas other ones, you can switch it out. Team Liquid opens up the ban on Greymane. Greymane, seen often by Fnatic. Granted, with his latest rework, we don't know if they still believe him to be strong, but Team Liquid is taking no chances.
Yeah, it's interesting that Greymane is banned because of the impact that Greymane's rework had so far, because it more or less led to Greymane being very much disregarded in Europe. Most of the teams don't play Greymane, or at least are a bit hesitant to commit to him because they don't know how to utilize him and how strong he is. But Fnatic, as you said, has always been a team that played a lot with Greymane. They have 11 games played with him, 9 of those were successful. That leaves them at an 82% win ratio, and they include Greymane in 50% of their games, which is higher than any other hero that they're running. So Team Liquid just not taking any chances here and saying from the get-go, it's your most important hero, we're going to ban it out here. That's actually a strategy that other teams have used against Fnatic as well. Dignitas, for example, did the same thing.
And it makes more sense too, especially them wanting to go into Tracer, Greymane being that soft counter, then get the Malfurion Tracer in a good spot in that regard. But Fnatic answers back with a reset composition, and they come out cannons a firing. Genji and Li Ming here for them.
And we heard from Nurok just a second ago how he said immediately, listen, we need to be a bit careful about Mena and his mage pool, and that is exactly what is now thrown against them. Varian banned out. Now we have seen Varian played against Tracer just recently in the series with Method. Now once again Varian coming to play, getting banned out at this point just to make sure that Tracer is going to be safer in Team Liquid setup and that Fnatic does not have the option to use him to set a Li Ming combo up, for example, or even just like a bit of Genji action. But Fnatic, how are they going to reply now with the bans? What are they going to get rid of here? Could be Dahaka, for example.
Dahaka could go away. Arthas, a mainstay for Team Liquid as well, that we've seen pretty often on this battleground. That's going to be the 2 that we typically get from Eternal. If you want to target out Sport Billy, there is ZTC up and available. Also, the Muradin is one that they picked up too.
So, Team Liquid is 5-3 with Dahaka and 4-3 with Arthas. They played both of the heroes on the map. We have seen Eternal play a lot of Arthas here, but Team Liquid is one of the first teams in Europe that went straight back to Dahaka and tried to play the macro game. So this is one of the 2 choices that they have to make now. Which is going to be that offlaner for them? When it comes to the main tank, to Sport Billy, his priority seems to be a lot on Muradin. But I could also see him with an ETC pickup, just simply because with Tracer you can create even more space for. But they go for Muradin. And they switch it up at the top lane. It's Sonya. She's back to business.
This is our 4th Sonya this weekend. Had a lot from Zarmany.
3rd or 4th, yes.
Alex Aproji played her as well. And now we will get her 4 Towers of Doom from Team Liquid. So that top laner looking to bully out a little bit, chunk her opponents, and of course be a strong front line. Muradin and Sonya have been a duo for a long time here in the HGC and in competitive esports for a long time, simply because of how strong they are and how much of a front line and the decent amount of damage they can do. They can slowly chunk down their opponents, and you always have that fear of Sonya coming in with that poison spear, landing on a Li Ming or a Genji, and knocking them down to half health instantly.
Yeah. Fnatic, it's time to reply now. So they need to, first of all, they need to make sure that they get their healer. It could be Uther here. They have to be a bit careful because Team Liquid has played Lunara in the past. So if you're afraid that once you take Uther, Lunara is going to be used against you and you feel you can't deal with that, then another healer might be the better choice. There's still Lucio around, there's still Rhaegar available to them. And we also still need them with their main tag. It's ETC and Stukov. We've seen Stukov a few times in Europe. Actually, I think we've only seen him once so far. I'm going to double check that in a moment.
Stukov, one of those heroes that if you have the coordination between teammates, landing an engage, some form of CC, followed up into a silence, allows for Genji and Li Ming to go in for that reset. And the opposing team doesn't really have an option to answer back. Say Sonya here gets CC'd, gets silenced right away. She can't run away. She has to walk out, and at that point, she's pretty much dead.
Stukov was played twice in Europe. It was played once by Team Liquid, they lost the game, and it was already played by Fnatic one time, and that was a victory for Stukov. So currently 2 games on the hero. This is going to be the 3rd Stukov game that we have. But especially around the silence, you can of course do a lot with that little lurking arm here. How is Liquid going to react to this now?
You mentioned Lunara, but I think she falls off a little bit here. We're going to pick up Tychus instead.
And Renegade is back to action more and more in HGC Europe.
Helpful for stopping the channel from Stukov if he's silencing, and the grenade from a range. Pretty decent. Helpful against ETC and both plays. Not a bad choice.
Yeah, I like that we have Tychus back now, especially since you can chunk, of course, the tanks down. There's good interrupt potential. We've seen him before Europe started to play him a lot more in North America and also in Korea. Both regions played a lot of Tychus. And Europe was hesitant to bring him back, but now he has become a very stable force, especially on maps as, for example, Infernal Shrines, as we've seen in the previous series.
Well, before we jump into game number 1, we're already abuzz with Twitter as you guys are hitting us up on your thoughts about the matches, and here is a couple already. Death by Smiley comes down to this. Team Liquid must win to go to the Clash. No special math, no sneaky tiebreakers. Win, you go. Lose, feels bad, man.
Exactly, it does. So we are going to find out if Team Liquid can pull it off or if Fnatic is a bit too strong. Slow Bolagans. I think Team Liquid is going to give Fnatic a run for their money in this next set. Fnatic has looked shaky lately, performance-wise, almost as shaky as Trixler's bridges in Bridge Construction Portal. I've seen that, and I can confirm.
Why they gotta bring that up? I had close to German engineering when creating those bridges. I'm
Dude, not even close.
Okay,
not
they're a little
even
shaky,
close.
but they get the job done.
So Tim's idea of making something more stable when you have like a bridge or something is like add more weight underneath, so it definitely breaks apart.
More triangles. Triangles are how you make
definitely
bridges.
Not German engineering.
Straight into game number 1. Here we go. On the left side in the blue, Team Liquid. Sport Billy playing Muradin, Splinter on Malfurion, Hasuwa playing Tychus, Nurok on Tracer, and Eternal will play Sonya.
And to the right side of the map, we currently see Fnatic, the boy band, Mena, only one without good hair, on Li Ming, Quacknix on Genji, Breeze on ETC, and Bad Benny on Blaze with Smaxy playing Stukov.
Stukov, man, it's been a while since we've seen him in the HGC. Excited to see how that will pay off for him. Stukov, one of those heroes that can really support a team well if you're able to expand on a target and then come back and group up and get those healings to spread amongst yourselves. Very cool how he functions, but he is missing out on that burst heal, which you normally want when you're facing against a Tracer.
He can be absolutely fantastic, though, if ETC starts with a power slide, because you slide in and the lurking arm comes right after that, and whoever the target of the power slide stun is has a very rough time to move out of that area, and that's when Li Ming comes into play and can capitalize on with damage. So that's, right now, for Nurok in particular, on Tracer, the most important thing to watch out for.
Watching out for that ETC will be a bit terrifying. Tracer on this side is one that we'll have to watch out for Nurok, as he'll be looking to move in and get some damage on Mene. One of the main targets, and Genji too. We've seen many times yesterday, Make showed off really well the ability to punish a Genji. Whenever he's deflect a little bit too early, you drop the pulse bomb in the middle of that deflect, and the deflect expires, allowing the pulse bomb to explode. And if he's low enough, usually you can net a kill or two. So Nurok will have to watch out for that volatile matchup against Genji.
Yeah, one thing that's also quite interesting, nothing to do with the game itself, Breeze actually just moved. He moved in with his girlfriend, so he's currently playing for the first time from a new location as well, and was pretty curious at the start if everything would work out well with the internet. They had a bit of a backup plan, as he said, and at this point it's actually him in trouble and he dies. Not quite sure if you can blame that on internet connection.
I will, 100%. New internet, man. Get it together.
As he already said that.
Oh!
Wow, that everything worked out here, but it's Mene who comes in with the counter play. Norok has said they are a bit scared of his mage pool, and he pops off on Liming and gets the perfect hit off against Muradin to make that a 1-for-1 trade.
The orb over the wall. 1-for-1, as you mentioned, between our teams. Neck and neck in experience. Team Liquid should be able to grab that in the bottom lane and continue to stay with Fnatic. And now it's all about the Sappers. Fnatic had an aggressive play onto Team Liquid side, got those Sappers pushing in, but now they can get the Roam right before the 3 altar phase. This is a nice little consolation prize for getting that kill a little bit later there with Mene.
Also, you could see just up at the top what we just had on the side of Bad Benny. He didn't try to push the wave out immediately. He actually healed himself up in his own just to make sure that he can't get ganked. If he pushes it too far out, he makes himself a target. So he wanted to make sure that he's on his own side of the map, closer to his towers and the gate, so if there comes a gank his way, he's able to move away from it. So pretty smart adjustment.
Okay, 3 altar phase. How will this be handled? Fnatic has poke. Li Ming, Genji, annoying. Blaze can come down to the bottom right and work on the altar there, and then they can rotate in. Fnatic instead sets themselves up in the middle lane, though, willing to answer and respond based on what Team Liquid does.
Yeah, to the top is Fnatic actually starting to become a bit aggressive. They're seemingly giving up the bottom and trying to make the play for the top too. Li Ming is already channeling the first one through. We have the middle channeled by Malfurion and Tychus, and now they need to push out if they really want to have a shot of claiming this one, and they do. So it's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Fnatic. They get the slight lead over Team Liquid.
Didn't even need the poke. Patnick's being able to jump on Tracer, getting down to half health. Made Team Liquid deter away from the area. But Team Liquid has been willing in the past in this battleground to give up one of the altars. They're okay with that. They would elect to stay neck and neck in experience or even get a lead. So they do that there. Hang on though, Nurok gets blown up though. Breeze power slide into a knockback. Smexy trying to get the silence, but I don't even think the silence was needed. Mene with the laser precision on his Li Ming, able to get the kill.
Yeah, Mene is definitely putting the works in on Li Ming right now, and he's doing well. That's the second one that he delivered for his team. The great combo against Muradin earlier, and now a quick follow-up against Tracer as well after the power slide. And that's exactly the threat to Tracer if she gets caught here. And it allows now Fnatic to move in and take the camp away from their opponent. Sport Billy is attacked and zoned out a bit. Quacknix gets some easy free damage in. But of course the main focus is at the bottom lane now, where we're seeing the Sappers moving in. And also another opportunity maybe for Fnatic to even get a kill if they can get that slide combo off. It's actually the 3 heroes that move around the map as a trio the most. It's Stukov, Li Ming, and ETC. So exactly that slide into silence, into Li Ming combo is what they're aiming for here.
That'll get more deadly later on. Genji's role right now is just to rotate around the map. Breeze coming around the side. Thinking about going on Splendor, but Hasselhoff is there to protect him. Just fine for now. With 2 altars spawning, Fnatic will have to make their way to the top side of the map. 20 seconds for them to pop up.
Traditionally, it's an even trade. Normally, you just take the altar on your own side, and that's the only play that you're trying to make. Maybe the teams are attempting to switch it up. If Genji dies, but he doesn't, that would have been an opportunity for Team Liquid to maybe get both. But now we still have Blaze pushing the lane out, so Sonya will have to react to that. Eternal needs to make sure that he moves up to the top. It's Sport Billy actually that starts the rotation here to catch the experience, and that leaves Blaze already on the camp.
Blaze working on the camp as you mentioned with that 1-for-1 trade. As we're aware, that usually happens on that altar phase. Typically you can peel off somebody and get a head start on the Sappers, and that's what Blaze did. Bad Benny clearing out quickly. And before Sonya even responds, have it pushing on the top lane. So Fnatic find themselves in a spot with a slight experience lead, and thanks to an additional kill, and been them grabbing the Merc camps. Looking for another pick on maybe Sport Billy too. Muradin able to jump out though.
Yeah, Smexy also had to cancel the lurking arm there. He had no chance of keeping that up since the rest of Team Liquid was moving in. So Muradin is able to move away from this. But it just shows how dangerous this combo can be, and it is hitting before level 10 is in play. So with heroic abilities, the whole setup is going to become even more dangerous. But of course, it will give Team Liquid also a few more options to deal with all of this. Right now, Fnatic is taking a slight lead in the points on the core, 32-28, and we see him with an experience lead as well.
For those that are thinking about an easier combo, say you enjoy the Stukov combo that we're seeing, if you want something to try at home, we saw it once in HGC. Oh, hang on, a dash comes in. It's going to be a power slide onto Malfurion. Combo done. Immediate kill. Fnatic kiting backwards, and they'll be able to get level 10. If you want an easy way to pull this off, a Bone Prison Zul into a Stukov with some kind of tank is actually a really cool way to do the same combo that you've seen from Fnatic.
Yeah, now we have that level 10 that you talked about. So at this point, Fnatic has taken the map. We have 3 kills by them. Again, they steal the Zappers away. And now that leaves them, of course, with an exposed fort down here at the bot lane, a forced bell tower that they could try and take. At least the tower will fall. It gives them even more experience. Breeze is just waiting for a chance here. Sport Billy needs to be very careful. Moves in for Stormbolt. tries to slow down Quacknix as he's heading back home for more mana. But level 10 abilities are now also ready for Team Liquid. Tyker's not picking his Tangers yet, but it would really shock me if we would see anything else but Odin here.
In the past, we did see Draken Laser as a way to block Li Ming combos coming your way. Could do that, but I would imagine the Odin would be the choice. There it is. Power slide into that. Immediate engage. Murden has no chance.
Yeah, he just got destroyed here. Now Quacknix wants Nurok. Tries to slide in here, pop the Dragon Blade, but that was exactly what's so threatening about this combo. If you're Silence, there's just nothing you can do. There is no panic button, there's no Divine Shield, no Ancestral, no Palm that can be used from outside. And in this case, Murden didn't even have a chance to simply use his own avatar. He was just sitting there and got taken out. Sitting duck.
Yeah, at that point, you're relying on your teammates' heals and hoping that you can escape the circle of death that Smexy creates.
Sorry.
We're getting the shove at level 10. Did you see that, by the way, for Stukov?
He played it already in the past.
Yeah.
He's done it a few times now, and it's great if you're just trying to get one hero out of the fight. So that can be pretty fantastic for them here. The most important part, though, is Fnatic is really on point today with their combos. Like, the synergy between the team members and the way that they're coordinating their abilities is much, much better than what we've seen in previous weeks. So I like this a lot, what they're showing here. And for Team Liquid, it's not going to make things easier today. Again, they need to win this series, no matter how, if they want to go to the Western Clash. It's in their own hands.
That's right. There's still a chance for Sonya and Tracer to pop a target for Fnatic, but Fnatic right now continuing to play very well. Team Liquid seeing the boss grab, takes the sappers of their opponents, trying to open up the bottom well. But with Fnatic already being in a spot to clear that out, it shouldn't be too much of an issue.
It's going to be a rough one. Team Liquid is down to 20 points on their core against the 28 on Fnatic's side. And Fnatic is pressuring the map. I mean, as you said before, Liquid was a team, or is a team, that has been very willing to give up early game because they want in the late game to carry. They want to scale with their composition, and then in the late game they are able to turn it around. And that is something that Fnatic has to be very cautious of. But their own tools are just fantastic, and it really lines up with what we've seen so far. 4 kills against 1, great combos, great opportunities for them created by Breeze and then followed up by Smexy and Mena. And Liquid needs to find some kind of way to deal with that. And around this next altar spawn, that's when they, in my opinion, have to start doing exactly that. The problem is that they're already a talent behind.
Exactly.
And that makes it difficult.
The talent disadvantage definitely hurts. Breeze is primed and ready to move in for another engage. Blaze joins as well.
Yeah,
Fnatic
Breeze
setting up well.
Breeze on the pick now too, so he's just trying to stay mounted for as long as he can so that he has an easier time jumping on someone.
Yeah. Definitely a major amount of value there. Odin popped up. Damage starts. Gonna be dodged out here for Fnatic. They're just buying their time. They know they have a harassment from Mena if anyone starts a channel.
There we go again. They go for Eternal, and here comes the Dragon Blade. They're trying to confirm the kill, and they're close to getting it, but the Silence of Splendor was fantastic and keeps Eternal alive. Great move by Smexy here. Just pushing him out, and that was that was Murden gone in a second. It was like a really good shot that we saw there, but the fight isn't over yet. Breeze is still buying some time as he interrupts Hazo on the channel.
Power slides forward. Eternal goes in. Breeze getting lower and lower, trying to get healed up. A Silence comes out. Tracer gets deleted. Scorpilly jumps straight on top of Smexy.
Yeah, Quacknix, and here comes another shove, just getting them out of the fight. Quacknix with the capitalization on the damage that was pushed on the Tracer, goes in with a Swift Strike, gets the reset, and all of this happens with a talent disadvantage. Liquid, throughout this entire battle, had a talent disadvantage. But again, I have to highlight that Twilight Dream that we saw from Malfurion. That was when Genji was just about to drop Sonya, and then Twilight Dream comes in, and Malfurion helps him out, saves him, but the channel is still taken, and Fnatic doesn't stop there. They go for the Bell Tower.
Team Liquid, though, showing that even with the talent disadvantage, they were still ready to be even against Fnatic in the fight. Eternal comes around for the engage, will jump straight onto Breeze. Smexy in trouble, though, trying to get healed up. Barely holding on, hoping for the heal to come his way, but sadly it does not. Smexy falls as Team Liquid comes in for a massive flank.
Yeah, well done, and it also saves the Bell Tower for now. So Liquid goes in, gets the kill, and shows some signs of life here. They defend their Bell Tower, they get the kill, and now they carry this own momentum over to try and steal a camp away. Since Fnatic finds themselves in a 4 versus 5 situation, they don't even try to contest it.
Sappers grab for both lanes. Can they get the Bell Tower, though? That's the question. Team Liquid thinking about it. They have to peel Sonya off, sadly, because of Genji and Blaze pushing the other lanes.
Blaze on the top, by the way, is still looking to interrupt the rotation if he can, but he went back, mana'd up, and in the meantime, Sonya's finally arriving, missing out on a few minions, not too many, but of course that's a slight lead experience that we can see for Fnatic then later on, and they still hold onto that lead.
Not a single Sapper got through. 3 more trying to come through, but Fnatic stops all 6 of them. But again, it's the experience that was important there for Team Liquid and also taking them away from their opponent. Sonya is working on the northern Sappers. We'll get that start to push in, but with the 3 altar phase set up and ready to go, our teams will have to try and separate and see if they can find a way to get 2.
Yeah, Blaze holding the middle now. Liquid starts to rotate. One of the threats was, of course, that there could have been a potential move for the bell tower, but Fnatic didn't have enough vision and is playing it safe now. The teams are both on level 13 talents. Still, Fnatic is half a level away from 16, but very unlikely to reach it now. The top is going to be exchanged. Top right by Bad Benny, top left by Eternal on Sonya. So it's all about the bottom altar in this triple altar phase. And Bad Benny is still getting some experience in the middle. If they can hit 16, that would be the dream for Fnatic to secure themselves another altar on the map.
Breeze is dancing. Blaze decides to come down because Sonya does as well. Breeze takes a big pulse bomb on the side. Quacknight's doing a little bit of harassment here. Should be able to get on out. He does escape to the top left. Mosh Pit going off.
Mosh Pit immediately interrupted and Breeze goes down. Shove comes in a bit too late. Great move and Sonya is immediately on Smexy. Good kill by Team Liquid. They take ETC down for the second time here and are able now to take another 4 shots at Fnatic through the altar. So it's 12 points on Team Liquid's core and 20 on Fnatic. But of course Liquid wants more. They're attempting to go in for maybe another kill or at least the bell tower, trying to pressure the bot lane.
Stormbolt misses, but they get a little bit of space here to get some damage on the bell tower. 16, finally hitting for Fnatic. They're still in 845, but in 10 seconds, ETC will be back. And it appears that they have the defense nice and set up here. They'll be able to control this bell tower. But Team Liquid are starting to take the map in terms of Team Liquid fashion. Finally getting an altar and getting a kill in the late game.
It was really a problem for Breeze that he did not catch Malfurion with the Mosh Pit. Because Malf could simply use his own ult and then Breeze was in trouble since he had no tools to move away from the situation, especially with Sonya immediately turning on him. So that's a big problem and he needs to create better opportunities there. But talking about opportunities, Malfurion is not able to save Murden here as he is just once more isolated. Hazorp's also about to fall, still alive, mounts up and moves away. Sonya dies, that gives the reset to Quacknix. He's trying to close the gap to take Splendor down as well. Shove into the corner and here comes Breeze. Once again the silence and Quacknix with the final few hits against the healer. Great job. Guy with the green beard goes down and that makes it a triple kill for Fnatic.
This is what we've seen from the old Fnatic back in 2017. They may have lost a fight, maybe lost a member or two, but they come back swinging right away, and we just saw that on the Sapper. Great turnaround, immediate pickup. Murden unable to get out of that silence that Stukov provided. Fnatic with the coordination gets a kill, gets the map opened up, and now they can look for more. A bell tower taken on the bottom left allows for them to take this altar easily, so they put Blaze in the middle lane to keep soaking up.
3 more shots through the camp and Liquid is starting to run out of points on their core. This is an easy pickup down here and that's another 5 shots fired, which means Team Liquid will find themselves at 4 remaining points on their core. And with the boss up on the map, that's now a huge problem. Since at this point, Fnatic can go for the boss, they can go for another altar, and they have already taken a huge lead in experience, which also means that at any point, once they hit 20, they can simply use that advantage to get any of these things.
Team Liquid makes a wise decision and goes straight for the Bosso. With Genji showing in the bottom left, they are aware that Team Liquid should be able to grab that as Fnatic can't come in and invade. So there it is, 4 shots off. Helpful.
Yeah. The most important part is they took it away from the map.
Yeah.
It of course helps to fire the shots against Fnatic, but they took it off the map. So now that doesn't become a risk. They went for it immediately. Blaze was there, he saw it, but they realized they couldn't rotate in fast enough. So they didn't want to take that fight. So that's a huge relief for Team Liquid. It was a great play by them.
Will it be enough? They have members down here.
Yeah.
They need to work on the bell tower. They can't afford to let Sappers seep on through. And they have 2 ultras spawning soon.
Team Liquid is currently trying to recover their bell tower, but Fnatic holds onto it, and now they're going for the camp. Liquid needs a fight, but they need a good one, and that's not going to be too easy here. Fnatic is in this weird limbo where on one hand you're still trying to hold on to all the infrastructure that you have captured on the map. On the other hand, you're trying to dodge fights because you're so close to level 20, just 1 level away, that it's very tempting to wait until you have the Storm Talons. So they're going to keep their distance, wait for an opportunity, see maybe we can isolate someone, can we jump on someone that's too far out? Is Liquid making a mistake? But they need to be careful with this because Liquid is looking for the fight. So here comes against the silence. They are starting to move in. Quacknix is the target. But Fnatic is attempting to move out again.
Quack able to get on out. 2 altars up in about 8 seconds. Fnatic tapping off, getting healed up. Eternal with his Wrath, trying to keep it up by attacking Breeze here. keeps it up for a little bit, and now the channel will begin. Mane trying to control on the side while the rest of Fnatic peels on out.
Nice job,
He
and
gets
they
it.
get it. They zone enough, and that is game. Fnatic, great zoning job here as Li Ming is attempting the channel. Well done by the two frontliners, and that leads to the first victory for Fnatic. Team Liquid down a game in the best of 5.
Yep, Zelt's fans at home gotta be cheering right now with Fnatic getting the first map. Remember, they gotta get all 3 here to stop Team Liquid from being able to go to the Western Clash. Started to see a little bit better moves for Team Liquid towards the end. 1 kill